What, move it up?
Give it up.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Adirondack Homestead. I'm Nicole.
I'm Leon. Scooter.
All right. So we have 4 Nigerian dwarf goats. Matilda, Olivia, Sweetie Pie, and Shadow. I believe Phoebe already said that what their names were.
I told you that 10 minutes ago.
You told me what 10 minutes ago?
Well, that's what she said.
Oh, yeah. They are an American breed developed for small scale dairy production and for companionship of their good little friends.
Mm-hmm.
Their average height is anywhere from like 17 inches to 22 and a half inches. So they're pretty short. They got short little stubby legs. And their average weight is around 75 pounds. They make, when they're producing milk, they make 1 to 2 quarts of milk per day for up to 10 months. Their milk is high in butter fat, which is around 6%, and high protein, which is at 3.9%. It says that it makes excellent milk and cheese, which is going to be great for you because he found out that he can eat goat cheese. So we're hoping he can drink goat's milk because he is severely lactose intolerant. And they live about 15 to 20 years if they're well taken care of. 1 to 2 quarts of milk a day.
1 to 2 quarts of milk a day per goats for 10 months.
Yep.
And then how does that rotate through? You got to give them 2 months off?
In between like having babies?
Yeah.
No, it says to give them 6 months of a rest period between like breeding them.
Right.
I think after they have their baby.
After the baby, not after they stop milking.
Maybe. I guess, yeah.
They probably just keep them going. I don't know if they actually do a rest.
I guess that depends on how fast you want them to crank out babies.
It's like 6. It's supposed to be 6 months between.
Yeah, it says you can breed them all year round.
Yeah. If you like a lot of guys that do like these little goat like herds, they'll take 7 months or 8 months or something like that. They'll take and they'll just keep all the goats together in the pastures and just move them around, right? And let them have goats, baby, like let them have babies constantly.
It says the gestation period for goats is 145 days. For miniature goat. For standard goats, it's 150 days.
They have the option of having 1 to 3 babies.
Yeah, they can have up to 1 to 3 kids, they're called. Each time they have babies.
And then what do you guys have to do differently? Like how do you take care of the babies, or they just take care of the babies?
It depends. So you could get a goat that's like a really good mom and she's gonna take care of them and feed them just fine. Or you could get one that's not that great of a mom. She's like, I don't like this. So she's not gonna like when they try to eat, she's gonna like kick them off or just neglect them. So then you would have to feed them, like bottle feed them or syringe feed them.
Yeah.
So you could milk the goat and feed them that way, or if she's not like producing well, then you could buy the milk replacement powder and stuff.
Talking about milk replacement, we were contacted by a bunch of moms that had babies during that baby food crisis and asking us about goat's milk because it is the best, I guess.
It's like the closest.
It's the closest to human milk. So it's the best like substitute, I guess, for a natural is to get goat milk. Didn't know that until the baby food crisis.
But our goats weren't producing milk.
Yeah, not at that time, but that's another thing that we were thinking about was like, okay, so this is great. So if we have any extras, we can try our hand and cheese, but it's just as easy for us to throw it in the freeze dryer and run a batch through. And now I have freeze dried goat milk that I can use to make baby formula or a formula to add, back to the baby goats if their mom kicks them off. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, powdered milk's used for all kinds of things.
Tons of things.
Yeah, that's cool. I never even actually thought about that with the dehydrator. You guys being able to do that, that is sweet. So when you're looking at it, I thought it would have been a lot more expensive for the goat food, but I was quite surprised that you said so. With 4 goats, you go through about 18 bags a year. You said that's about a bag and a half a month, and that was about $415. But did I understand you guys right when I said you guys buy the big bulks bales of hay for like $100 for a year?
It doesn't last a year. But
No, it's probably going to be $200 in hay.
$200 in hay instead of 100.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, hang on. Let me stop the recording. Then I gotta. Oh, we've got it corrected. We're recording again. $200 a year for hay. That is not bad. So you're talking under $1,000 an animal, and if you bought the bulk, that would actually last you. I figured it out. You use like 900 pounds a year. That's 2,000 pounds. So you get a little over 2 years with it.
That's cool.
With 4 goats.
Yeah. If we increase, then obviously.
And then we're gonna have to increase feed rates as they're getting pregnant too. Like they're still not at that point. So I'm not like, I know I'm feeding them well right now and they're a little chunky, but when they start making, the kids and then they start milking, I don't want to, I want to keep chunky goats. So that food rate's probably going to change.
Because they're using a lot more energy.
They're going to
make
use a lot
babies and
more.
feed babies.
Yeah.
And so that's the 2 different prices on there. We've got the one. This is all Tractor Supply prices, but you've got the one
And
for
the
the
other thing that
regular.
we're not even considering for other people that have to own goats is like I'm cutting down like trees and stuff around my property and throwing in there and they just go ravenous over them. Like I go up there and I start the chainsaw and they just like start freaking out. Like they want to get next to me because they know I'm going to drop a tree and they get to get all the fresh leaves from the top of the tree.
Yeah. They also eat the bark.
Yeah, they'll chew the bark off some trees.
Yeah, not all of them.
Yeah, strip it right off. Roots. Those roots that were popping through, they chewed all the bark off the roots. Oh no,
They like regular leaves too.
Yeah, they love pine needles. They're not a big spruce fan.
They're picky.
They don't like, like we said before, they don't like Christmas trees from people's houses.
Yeah, and I
but, like,
thought
if
that
you had,
they would like little vegetables like carrots or something because I was like, oh, let's feed them some carrots and some apples. A lot of people say their goats like it. This one guy we met, his goats like peanuts, and I tried to feed the goats all of those things, and they're like, no, I don't want that. They just literally want the like natural vegetation, hay, and grain.
Yeah, if it smelled like car, truck, chainsaw most of the time, like if you're like right there, they don't like the smell of it. They're very picky girls. It's good.
They're very friendly though.
Yeah, super.
They're cute. Olivia's not a people person though.
Except for Brittany.
Yeah, she loves Brittany.
She loves Brittany.
So the difference in the food prices is actually that other one is for while you're milking them. Is that for while they're pregnant too? It was a dairy something or other. It's called.
They're dairy goat.
Yeah, so you can totally. It's just a higher protein, I think. So they can, metabolize more milk.
Gotcha. And then, like you said, the bulk bag is just enormous. But the minerals, so you got to replace. Is it like a salt lick essentially that you're giving them with the minerals, and that's why it's about 3 bags a year. You go through about a bag every 4 months.
Yeah, it's open. Like you would put it on an open feeder.
Free choice.
Free choice. So like I got this piece of PVC that has like a little hood over the top of it, and I keep it filled for them, and they'll literally go in. Sometimes they'll grab a couple of mouthfuls of that stuff, and
yeah, it's like they know when they need it, so they go over and eat it whenever they feel like they need it.
Is it powder or is it like a salt lick?
It's salt. It's just salt.
It's a powder though, yeah.
It's just a bunch of minerals. I'm pretty sure one of them is zinc or something like that, because
probably zinc, magnesium, and
yeah, because they said that like there was like no zinc in the soil up here or something, and like I was told like, hey man, you better make sure you got that in that salt that you ordered. So on this here, she's got it labeled as, what is that? Tractor Supply, right?
Yes.
We bought ours was from Sweet Licks.
Yes.
So we were recommended that was a very good mineral. So we went to Sweet Licks and purchased that. Amazon? Or was that the local place up? Not local for us, but a local shop up in Vermont.
Yeah.
Had it on the shelf and we snagged it.
Gotcha. All right. So say what you just said again.
So we moved the chicken coop a little bit yesterday. We didn't have to move the goat barn because it was already in a decent spot, but we moved the fence so they could get like a fresh vegetation area to play with and eat on, so they aren't like tramping down the ground too much.
So yeah, you guys can kind of move them around, and then because with that fence, like you can move the chicken coop or the barn and still get all kinds of different spots and essentially keep
Right.
the
Yeah,
goat
because
barn.
it's like so flexible. Like you can move it, you can move it any direction you want. You can make it any shape you want. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so it allows you to kind of get a ton of spot keeping the goat barn in the same place, and then you'll just drag the goat barn on to somewhere else and be able to.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah. The chicken coop is on like skis, kind of like a wooden skis, I guess. And that was a little bit harder to move. So he was like, we need to put wheels underneath this thing. So that would be easier to move.
I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve for that.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's like cloven hooves. Yeah.
All right.
So they have like the two little points, kind of like a deer. And so they like walk around and like that, like kind of like tills up the ground, without like beating it to death. And then they like go around and they poop, and they're kind of like working in their poop into the ground.
And the them being in with the chickens, they just kind of the chickens actually they keep all the ticks and everything out of it too, so it kind of makes it a
Right,
better
yeah.
soil.
And like having to be less worried about like the goats getting ticks on them. I check them pretty frequently too, just because the ticks are so bad around here. The way their teeth are, and they like kind of chew their food like in like a circular motion. So they like grind all the seeds like in when they're eating it. So like when they do poop, it's not like you're not getting the seeds in there, so it's not like producing more plants. It's all like broken down and pelletized.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so another aspect of owning goats is you have to maintain these things. Like you have to have them checked out. You got to know what their temperatures are supposed to be. Checking them when you think they got the sniffles. They're going to get sneezes and coughs, and you're going to get worried. And
Yeah.
You got to keep track of them. And a really, really huge thing is maintaining their hoofs. If you don't know how to do it, you can catch a couple YouTubes and figure it out. You can ask us. We'll put together one if you guys want to. But the main thing is just try to get to somebody and understand how to get these hoofs cleaned up, or bring them to somebody and have them cut. Because I've seen way too many photos of people that have goats with messed up feet because they're not being maintained. And it drives me nuts.
Another YouTube channel that's really good for goat information, which we watched a lot of before we got our goats, is Delcy from A Life of Heritage.
Yeah,
and we can link that in the video.
A lot of information comes from that woman.
Oh, they're so cute.
Hang on. So wait, what did you just say?
I said, do you want to talk about why we decided to get goats? And I said, it really wasn't for farm purposes.
I thought that's what you said. Yes, I really want to hear this story now.
So one day I texted him. I've just been looking at goats online because I think they're very cute. And I texted him. And I said, hey, this lady was like probably a couple of hours away. Has some baby boy goats for sale. I just wanted some goats. I didn't care if they had babies or if they made milk. I just wanted some goats because I thought they were cute. And he was like, what? So confused. I was at work texting him. And I was like, I think we should get goats. And he's like, I think you're crazy. And so then he like did some more research because he's good like that. And we ended up getting our goats from Sperry Family Farm, Goat Farm in Argyle.
Yeah, she does a really good job of working on her herd and like who is breeding with her goats. So we really liked her goats. Like they were good.
All of her goats are registered with the Dairy Goat Association.
We're registered.
And so our goats are registered.
Our farm is registered.
Well, yes, I know our farm is registered.
Sorry.
What do you mean registered with the Dairy Goat Association?
So there's an American Dairy Goat Association, And that's where they keep track of like all the lineage. Some people show their goats, like they do have show goats, so that keeps track of all that information.
Like Sweetie Pie. She's my field goat.
She is, she's very cute. So it keeps track of all of that information, like who they were bred with. So then you can like look back on their lineage and be like, okay, so this is where they come from, knowing that they're good quality goats. They're not just random.
Yeah. Not just the mutts, the runnets.
Right. Like you have good quality.
It's just trying to keep the the genetics right, so we're not losing stuff. Or if we got a certain breed that's starting to act funny, I mean, like we keep track of that stuff. Why not?
All right, now go again. They got tattoos.
Yeah, our girl's got tattoos.
The picture, that one right there with Phoebe
See the
in
green
the
on
back
her
seat,
ears?
she's got green in her ears because the day we got her, they tattooed her ears and they put green in it so you can see it better. And that's their like registered number.
Every goat's
Kind
got
of
it.
like a cow tag.
Yeah, but it's a tattoo, and it explains like where the goat came from and like what goat farm.
If they ever
It-
got lost.
Yeah, so like they're able to go, okay, like this goat here is got this. So it's like Sperry Farms, I think, is like one of the tags in one of the ears, and then the other tag is to explain what one it is. So who it belongs to now, it's us. So I'll have on the other ear the other tag.
And that green stuff got everywhere.
Yeah.
And took a couple days to wear off, but
Yeah.
it did.
Cute little goaties.
Mm.
Yeah, I appreciate you investing your time watching them. With today's rat race of a life, to spend 15 minutes watching what you enjoy to watch is a blessing.
You know,
So, so if you spent it with us, thank you. I appreciate that. We can't say it enough.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
also thank you for watching us. It blesses us doing what we want to do, what we love to do.
Yeah. So thank you. God bless. See
And
you
have a
next
good night
time.
or day, whatever time you're watching this.
Yeah.